Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be able to speak to you today. I cannot tell you what a fan I am of Bridget Jones. When you're taking on a character this iconic, this beloved, did you have any trepidation, or was it just something that you were just so eager to take on you didn't even look back?
It's a great question because it is such a storied franchise, and it's so important to so many people who have grown up with Bridget or alongside Bridget. I'm one of them. I think the answer is, for me anyway, is like if I stop to think about it too long, yeah, it comes to you. It's like, oh my God, this has been important for my whole sort of like waking life in a weird way, adult life. But then what you do, I think, is any director would probably say the same, which is just no. Then you start thinking that, and you start to make the film that you want to make, and then it becomes like this brand new thing that's never existed before. So that's how I kind of looked at it.
And what I loved most about the film is I felt like it had so many of those familiar beats, her awkwardness, her messiness, her absolute relatability, so many brilliantly hilarious moments. But there's also a maturity to it. The fact that, we're dealing with grief, her becoming a widow, being a single mom, online dating in the modern era. So it feels almost like we've grown up with her, and this film holds our hand through that. So was that something you really wanted to achieve?
It was probably the foundational thing that I wanted to achieve. And I thought it was a real opportunity here with the story that is just built into this particular chapter of her life. She's gone through something really difficult. And for those of us that did grow up with Bridget, it's not just Bridget, it's Bridget and Mark. I mean, they're an iconic couple, and there are very few kind of enduring iconic couples actually in on screen. And Bridget Jones and Mark Darcy, have become that. So there was definitely an opportunity to talk about grief in a way that you don't always get. That is to make essentially a comedy about grief, a comedy of grief, because you've got an iconic couple that we all feel for, and one of them's gone. And so you get a character like Bridget, who is known for being a joyful person, a warm person, not someone who wallows in her feelings, not someone who has any really sort of self-pity beyond the kind of, oh my God, my life. How does that person deal with the thing that we're all going to deal with at some point? And so, yeah, there was an opportunity to make a film essentially about moving on from a great loss, but with kind of warmth in it.
And I feel like you had a lot of fun with all your little nods to the original films.
Yeah.
I think some of my favourite bits, Come the Fuck on Bridget's in there. We've got the blue soup in the cocktail. Obviously the red penguin pajamas. But I think the garden party scene, rather than her, the Playboy bunny, we've got Leo Woodall jumping into this lake, which is just fantastic. Which were some of your favourite moments like that?
Well, there's a proud tradition in the Bridget Jones franchise of leading men like emerging from water, starting with the incredible Daniel Cleaver shot in the first film. But yeah, those kind of things are very conscious. Bringing her back to Borough Market was a bit of a thrill. We set up the shot that echoed Bridget walking in her bunny outfit alone through Borough Market. Only now she's walking to meet Leo, Rockster, I should say. But there's lots of little ones. If you squint and look very carefully on the shot of Rockster and Bridget walking past, just as he says, "Do you know this area?" and she says, "I used to." In the very background, there's a Mini that's exactly the same Mini as the one that the friends were in, looking through the window in the first film. There are lots of little things. I enjoy it when Mr. Wallaker Chiwetel says to her mum, "You're perfect just as you are," just after she's offered turkey curry to everyone. There's a lot of nods to the earlier films.
Oh, Ding Dong.
Ding Dong is in there, yeah.
I actually love also how raunchy it is. And I wonder if, maybe that's obvious to say, because I know that's obviously something that's been through all of the Bridget Jones films. But perhaps it feels even more relevant now, the fact that she is older. Yeah. And it does feel like maybe we're sort of pushing through some kind of boundary or taboo of showing women's sexuality on screen. We've got sort of Nicole Kidman and Baby Girl also, coming out at the moment. Was that something that was also really important, maybe to you, to Renee, to everyone wanting to take this character to this point in her life?
It was actually very important to all of us making it, and it was part of the design of that sequence, because yes, there's always been like really fun raunchiness. Who could forget, the Daniel Cleaver big pants scene in the brilliant. But it was handled a little bit differently. And it speaks to a little bit of how the tone has evolved into this franchise, that when we're in the bedroom with Rockstar and Bridget in this, it's pretty intimate. It's shot intimately, you know, and it's done, it's consciously. It actually, I wanted to feel that she's alive, you know, that it's not, I'm not distant looking at her like, you know, fooling around with this younger man. Actually, she's a living, breathing woman in a scene with this young guy, and they are, you know, into each other. And as you say, there does seem to be something shifting in culture. If that's true, let's celebrate that. That's fantastic.
Is there going to be a next one? I think I just read, as I was coming in, Renee had said on the red carpet last night, you know, I'll stay with this character as long as I can.
Let's do it. Let's say yes. I mean, unfortunately, this is the last chapter of Bridget Jones. But I guess you never say never, do you?
Thank you so much for sharing that with me.
You.
Huge congratulations on the film.
Thanks so much.
It was everything I wanted it to be and more. So.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. Thank you
At
so
least
much.
very one pleased to.
Brilliant.
We'll get to remember. Thanks a lot.
Cheers. Thank you so much.